has tested positive for methamphetamine May 8th screen. You understand that charge?
Yes.
And May 16th also tested positive for meth. You understand that charge?
I do.
You don't understand it?
I said I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. Ms. Novotny, what's you want to do?
Your Honor, today we would like to waive our probable cause and final hearing and plead guilty to the violations.
Is that what you want to do?
I do, sir.
What's your plea to those violations?
Guilty.
All right, I'll accept your guilty plea and find you guilty. So what's going on?
I had a stumble, for the last 23 months. I've been clean, and I had a couple surgeries on my nose, and this last surgery really got to me, and I had a stumble, I had a bunch of perks, and I was eating them as doctors prescribed, and just towards the end, I had a lot of complications. They were pulling stitches out, and I screwed up, and I got high. I almost had 2 years clean. I was 8 days away from 2 years clean, Your Honor. And I stumbled. And being an addict, it's hard. It really was. I got an inch and I took a mile. And I take accountability for my actions. I've in this last 23 months that I've been clean, I've learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about the addiction. And I got complacent, and I wasn't vigilant on what was going on in my life. I was helping more people than I was helping myself. And I took a little bit too much on. And I stumbled, and I went backwards.
What was the surgery for?
To fix my deviated septums. The first surgery, they went in and they cleaned out my sinus cavities. Then the second one, they went in and they cut me open here, pulled this open, pulled the tissue from my skull, and put it into my nose to regenerate my nose, my deviated septum. And I didn't know it was going to take a year to heal. And I still have stitches in that got to come out. There's still a lot of complications, but I didn't know it was going to take a year to heal. They told me, after the first 2 months I'd be okay, and that's not the case. They're still pulling stitches out. There's still blood coming out. There's, still a lot of factors being played in. So.
What did they prescribe for you?
Percocets, Tramadol, Xanax.
And
and my people were holding on to them, and I needed them, and I just got out of control at the end. Like I said, I ran out and I just got high. And I'm still in pain, but you know what? The Tylenol seems to be working now. They prescribed me 120 Tylenol a month now, and I'm just using straight Tylenol. There's no more of the Tramadol or Percocet.
Before you had the surgery, did you tell them what your
Yes, they knew
history was?
Yes.
Okay.
But they said with the amount of pain that I was in, that I could not, my body could not react unless I had that in me.
Okay, so when did you determine you were going to have that surgery? You had it in November, the first one?
November was the first one, I believe, and then the second one was 2 months later, so January, I believe.
Okay, so, but in advance of November, when did you make the decision you were going to have that surgery?
A month later, he told me I was going to have the surgery. It had to be back-to-back, the way the surgeries went.
No. You had the first one in November, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when did you start going to the doctor and then you figured out you needed surgery in November?
A month prior to that.
All right.
October.
What caused you to do that? What was going on with your...
My sinus infections. I was getting severe sinus infections, and they said the only way to treat the sinus infections was to have these surgeries.
Okay, so what do they say? When's the last time you went to the doctor for that?
A month ago.
Okay, and what did he tell you?
That it's going to be a year for it to fully heal, and I have to go back every other month to have them keep going in there and checking it's still healing right.
How do they do that?
Well, they take this camera and they shove it up in there, and then
in your nose?
Oh yeah, and they go all around in there, and it's some severe pain. Well, the last time they did it, they used a spray, and it actually sent me into almost into a relapse right then and there, because it made my whole face numb, And the reason I quit doing cocaine and all the drugs up my nose was because of how my face would go numb. And he shot this shit in there, the stuff in there, and it made me just, it blurred my head a lot. And if it wasn't for that woman there being with me and getting me back to my sponsor, I would have probably relapsed way before that.
All right, so are they gonna use the spray anymore?
No, they're not allowed to use that ever again. We made that official.
Okay.
Ever again.
All right, so then what else you've been, besides all that stuff, what have you been doing the last couple of years?
So, I've been a secretary of the Fellowship of NA at Magic Moon for a whole year. I took on that role. I made the whole year.
Where is that one at?
That is at Menor Lakeshore and right in front of the Headlands, right outside the Menor Headlands. There's that white church if you're coming out of the Headlands on Lakeshore. I've been a secretary there for a year. I've been picking up guys from treatment centers from here all the way to Cleveland and back, taking guys to meetings. I've been chairperson at for a whole year, at different meetings for a whole year. I believe in this fellowship, and I believe I screwed up, and that's why I'm here taking accountability for it. It's no one else's fault. I stumbled, and I have to live with what I did. You know, what really hurts me the most is I was 8 days away from finally accomplishing getting my 2-year coin. I've never had nothing like that in my life. My 1 year felt amazing. You know, you guys let me go to, I went to West Virginia, and I've never seen something so amazing in my life. There were 1,600 of us addicts in a Serenity Circle, and we all did the Serenity Prayer. I've never felt nothing. The love that you get from going to these conferences or from these different fellowship, like meeting different addicts in different areas, is truly amazing. So the first 2 years that I've been on probation, I screwed up. I looked at probation as a failure. Now I look at probation as accountability for me. Because every time I go in there, I know I'm held accountable for my actions. And I truly believe in it. And I got my daughter back. You know, my daughter, me and her have got such a closer bond because of this. She goes every Friday with me to my meeting. She's there every Friday, make sure we go to the meeting together. You know, it's truly amazing. I never had that before with my daughter.
What are you doing work-wise?
I am slammed with work right now. Me and my stepfather have our own company, Man's Construction, me and Butch. And then I independently go to 2 other guys during the week. When they get their loads of concrete, I go and help finish them off. I actually took a role on as helping a friend I worked for 20 years ago, cooking for him at his restaurant / little bar. It's on the corner of Lakeshore and Lawson Nation. I actually am helping them right now. We just took second in the Silver Spoon Award and first for the best chicken wings in Northeastern Ohio. So I do that at night every now and then just to get them over the hump when their guys call off. I'm busy right now. I'm trying to take over my daughter's mother's house. She offered me a deal right before I got arrested, saying that she would like me to sign a contract with her and I would take over her house and she's going to get another one. So I have my own place so I don't have to live with my parents no more. Like, I'm doing all the right steps. I had a stumble. I had to misjudge a character and I misjudged my vigilance on my own well-being.
So are you telling me that it was, that letting up on your vigilance was separate from the surgery medication? Or was it all one and the same?
It's all one and the same.
So how do you correct this?
Well, how we're going to correct it is I'm going to go back to my 3 to 4 meetings a week, sometimes 5 if I get more time. Me and my sponsor are going back for starting over on my steps. And I'm going to call him every day like I used to do. You know, I'm starting back into basics. I have to start all over again, you know, and it's hard, but I can't beat myself up over it no more. I was hitting myself with a brick when I first did this. Now I have to understand I'm an addict, and I'm going to be an addict the rest of my life. The only way to correct it is to get to these meetings, to be around my clean fellowship. Like, that's why I'm in NA. NA is all about all the addictions. It's not just about one. I am, for more than just an addict, I've had problems with sex addicts. I'm an addict, okay, just not with drugs. So that's why I'm in the NA fellowship. And I need to be around my NA family. They're the only ones who's helped me get through this the last 23 months.
How much you weigh now?
170?
How much did you weigh before?
145?
A few years ago.
Oh, like 140? I was horrible. I put on 30 pounds. Dude, I had my teeth redone. I got new teeth. I had a knee surgery. Like, I took it all the right steps. Like, my teeth were major. That was huge for me. Now I actually have teeth. Yeah, I looked like a little chicken wing when I came in here.
Ms. Novotny?
Your Honor, just to reiterate, it seems like the stepping stone that kind of caused him leading here to be today is his struggle with the recovery process with the deviated septum. I know it put a lot of thinking in regard to maintaining his path to sobriety. I know he's going to remain diligent with that respect. He's even told me that he wants to start off with square one, just like he's told you today. He wants to restart the way he did 2 years ago as well. Your Honor, with that, he is working, he's busy, he's keeping himself preoccupied with working, as he's told you, at Man's Construction. Additionally, he's an independent contractor on the side to help finish with paving concrete, or pouring concrete, excuse me. And additionally, he does helping out a friend too for another job at night, being a cook. It's called Knocks Off Grub and Pub. I know what means a lot to him the most too is his reconnection with his relationship with his daughter. I know he informed me too, a big thing for him is that she does, her birthday's coming up in July, and he doesn't want to mess that up for her as well. I know that means near and dear to him to maintain that relationship he has right now. I know in the back of this courtroom shows the support he has, not only from family and friends, but support systems that he has had an NA, and I know the letters that we've submitted on his behalf also showed that. So we're just asking for any leniency and keep him on community control, Your Honor.
Okay, Kaylee, what's he got in on this one?
Probation violation next 13 days.
All right, I'm going to keep you on community control. You got another 363 days left. 13 days in the jail with credit for 13. Go back to your NA at least 3 a week, plus a sponsor, and then all the things I told you to do that you still are under the obligation to do back from July of 23. Those are still in effect. Got it?
Yes, sir.
All right, time to get back on the horse.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank
Ms.
you.
Warren, anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Okay, Doug, go do what you're supposed to do.
Thank you, Your Honor.